Yo, what's good everyone? OJ here. Welcome to another video. Today we've got some awesome information for you guys, so let's go ahead and get right into it. And we're starting off with Capcom USA announcing some big Resident Evil games coming over to Nintendo Switch. So Capcom has stated this on Twitter. Capcom is bringing multiple fan favorites to Nintendo Switch. Resident Evil, Resident Evil 0, and Resident Evil 4 will be launching on the Nintendo Switch in 2019. We'll have more info soon. So this is something that I thought would happen a little bit earlier than it actually did, but yes, we got Resident Evil 0, Resident Evil the original, and also Resident Evil 4 coming over, and I would guess that there's probably going to be some more Resident Evil games coming as well, not just those ones. So not bad at all. So far on the Nintendo Switch, we already have Resident Evil Revelations 1 and Resident Evil Revelations 2, and then you add in all of these games here, and you know what the interesting thing is about this, guys? People are saying, man, Resident Evil has been on everything since the 6th generation, right? PS2, and you also had GameCube, then you also had the Xbox 360, you have the PC, you have all sorts of stuff Resident Evil's been on. However, it skipped the Wii U, and it's also not on 3DS. So they didn't make a 3DS version of Resident Evil 4, and they didn't make a Wii U version of Resident Evil 4. However, you could play Resident Evil 4 on your Wii U if you use the Wii version of the game. So there was that, and I think that's what they pretty much said, oh, well, we won't make it for the Wii U, because if you want to play Resident Evil 4 on your Wii U, you could just use the Wii function built in and play it that way. But there was no HD Resident Evil 4 on the Wii U. So we're finally getting it in HD for Nintendo fans, or for people who want to play on a Nintendo system for the first time ever. This will be the first time ever that you'll be able to play Resident Evil 4 in HD normally on a Nintendo system. So that's something to at least bring up, just because I'm a huge Resident Evil fan. I love Resident Evil 4. That's my favorite Resident Evil. 4 and 5 are my two favorite Resident Evil games. So hopefully they bring over 5 next year as well. But I'm excited for Resident Evil 4, even though I've purchased it how many times now? This will be the 100th time that I've purchased Resident Evil 4, but I still want to play and check it out. I've played the game on PC. There's just a lot of great things about going back to Resident Evil 4 and unlocking all the different stuff. It's always fun to play the game. Even after all of these years, I think it still stands the test of time for some people. Obviously the tank controls, that's something that's not really done anymore. I don't really know if there's any games that have tank controls at all, but tank controls were a thing that they did have, so that might be a little bit jarring for some of the younger audience out there if you guys try out Resident Evil 4 on the Nintendo Switch for the first time. But it is something that's in there. But just Resident Evil 4, it kind of reinvented the whole behind the back, you got the third person kind of looking over the shoulder. That was really when that became a big thing here, at least with these type of action shooting games. You know, before that there wasn't really many. It was either first person or it was a completely zoomed out third person view, and the behind the shoulder view kind of going in. Resident Evil 4 made that super popular. So we saw a lot of other games come after that, after Resident Evil 4, and I know even Cliffy Basinski said that Resident Evil 4 was a big inspiration for him when it came to Gears of War, which also has that same behind the back kind of zoom in when you aim. So Resident Evil 4 is iconic. It's really cool. Glad that it's coming over. But also Resident Evil 0, and also just the original Resident Evil as well. I have not beat Resident Evil 0. I just remember I got stuck. I couldn't solve a puzzle, didn't know what I was doing, and this was before the internet was really out there to find guides and all of that, so it wasn't easy. So I just never beat it, and I think I sold it. I'm not really sure what I did with the game, but it's cool that it's coming over. I know Resident Evil 0 originally on the GameCube, and they also had it on the Wii as well, so coming over to the Nintendo Switch, so good on that front too. So what do you guys think about all these different Resident Evil games coming over, and what Resident Evil games do you want Capcom to announce next? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Alright, and moving into the next topic here, we do have a release date announcement for Ark Survival Evolved on the Nintendo Switch. So the Nintendo Switch version of Ark Survival Evolved will launch worldwide on November 30th, 2018. Developer studio Wildcard has announced. Now here's a little bit of an overview of the game if you don't know what Ark Survival Evolved is. So get ready to tame dinosaurs, conquer enemies, and create enormous structures anywhere, on the couch, in bed, on a bus, or even at school. Kids, do not be playing Ark Survival at school. Stranded on a mysterious prehistoric island, you must explore its vast biomes as you begin to hunt, harvest, craft tools, grow crops, and build shelters to survive. Use cunning and skill to kill, tame, breed, and even ride dinosaurs and other primitive beasts living on the Ark. Advance your technology from primitive stone tools to T-Rex mounted laser cannons as you team up with hundreds of players online or enjoy a solo Jurassic experience. The adventure starts now. So I have no idea how this game was beforehand with the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. All I watched was an Xbox One X like patch enhancement or anything like that. That's the only thing that I've really seen on this game outside of some gameplay footage too that I put together when this was originally announced, because this kind of came out of nowhere. I think it was GDC or some type of developer conference or something that this was announced, and people were like, wait a minute, Ark Survival is coming over to Nintendo Switch? This game kind of has like some issues on the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One. And the more interesting thing that came out from the developer interviews and when they said this game was coming over, they're like, okay, was it hard for you to get the graphics and everything on the Nintendo Switch? And they said, no, that wasn't the problem. The problem was actually compacting the game and getting it on a 16 gigabyte cartridge. That was the bigger challenge to them. So it was interesting to see that, and kind of shows that the Switch is kind of a little bit more capable than what some people think, or at least developers are a lot more crafty than some people think when it comes to bigger open world style of games, because we're actually starting to see quite a number of them. We did recently get a Vampire announcement, which nobody thought was going to be coming over to Nintendo Switch because of how the game looked and the graphical style and everything. Ark Survival, once again, we have this game that's already announced coming November 30th, and November is absolutely packed for the Nintendo Switch, and very similar to what Nintendo did last year. Remember last year, guys, we had like LA Noire, we also had Resident Evil, we just had a bunch of different games come out. We had Doom, there was Skyrim, all that was November, so like kind of like the bigger third-party month, and this is kind of how it is this year as well, with games like Civilization 6, you also have Warframe, now we have this game here, so that's kind of how Nintendo's been doing it. A lot of the bigger third-party games are coming over in November. Diablo 3, can't forget that one as well, this November 2nd, so coming up pretty soon here. So overall, really cool that we're going to be getting Ark Survival Evolved on November 30th. It's a packed month. Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee is also in that month, so Switch players are going to have plenty to play in that month, and hopefully this game does well, and hopefully it runs well too, because they haven't showed too much of it, but we do have a trailer here, so it's looking okay. We'll see how it turns out with the full game. So what do you guys think about Ark Survival Evolved coming out to Nintendo Switch this November? You guys going to be picking it up and we're looking to see how it does? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. All right, and moving into the final topic here, we do have a release date for Jump Force on the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. So Jump Force will launch for PS4, Xbox One, and PC on February 15th, 2019 in the Americas and Europe, and for consoles in Japan a day later. Ryo Seiba from City Hunter and Kenshiro from Fist of the North Star will also be playable characters, Bandai Namco has announced. Now, Bandai Namco also revealed the Paris stage, which features elements from Saint Seiya universe, such as the Clock Tower and the 12 Temples. Now, here is a little bit of an overview of each character via Bandai Namco. Ryo, equipped with his trusted Colt Magnum, is a highly skilled gunman that rarely misses, as well as possessing extremely quick reflexes to dodge his enemies' attacks. On the other hand, Kenshiro is an immensely strong expert user of his Hokuto Shinken martial arts, who is able to target and defeat his opponents brutally, swiftly, and effortlessly. So I would have a trailer running for you guys normally, but Bandai Namco gets kind of crazy with these trailers. And I haven't covered Jump Force too much, so I did want to make sure that I got at least a release date out for you guys. I'm still not in love with the actual art style of this game. I don't like the graphics and how it looks, but based off of the beta and what people were playing, it does seem like it's going to be a fairly enjoyable crossover anime style game with big flashy type of battles and everything, so I think it'll get the job done for this style of game. I think people who are going to be playing this aren't trying to look for the most in-depth or even balanced type of game out there, because it's almost impossible to balance this style of game with all these different characters from all these different anime and putting them together. These games are almost never balanced in a way that would be acceptable, especially a 3D fighter. That's even harder to do than a 2D fighter, because you have to think about space and all of that and kind of moving around in that area. So it's even harder to balance the 3D ones, in my opinion. So the fact that they're having all these characters in here, I think people are just going to jump in. You're going to be able to just fight, have fun, and it's probably going to be really cheap with some characters over other ones, just because that's just how these games are, but it can still be fun if you're into it. I know there was Yusuke, he's in the game from Yu Yu Hakusho, so that looked really cool. So I might try out Jump Force at some point. Maybe I'll get a review code, maybe I won't. Bandai Namco, they're kind of crazy with how they give me review codes. Sometimes I get them, sometimes I don't. So we'll see how it works out, but it does seem like Jump Force is going to be somewhat of a solid game based on the beta that people were playing and kind of how people were having fun. I was watching it on Twitch. So what do you guys think about Jump Force coming out February 15th, 2019? Does this get you excited with these two new character reveals and everything that they've shown off so far? Ark Survival Evolved, the release date on that, and also Resident Evil, more Resident Evil coming over to the Switch. Let me know your thoughts on all this in the comment section below. All right, Ninja, that wraps it up for this video here. Go ahead and check out the links in the description below. We got Facebook and Twitter. Go ahead and give us a like and a follow on our social media. Really helps us spread the content of PlayerEssence across the internet in addition to YouTube. Also, make sure you check out our Patreon, Twitch, and YouTube live gaming pages and consider supporting PlayerEssence. When you do so, it gets you access to all sorts of cool benefits, perks, rewards, and emotes via YouTube membership. Hit that like button if you did like this video. Let me know you guys want more content like this going forward in the future. And subscribe to PlayerEssence for latest RPG, Japanese, and Nintendo gaming news. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you, Ninja, for the next video. Peace!